Hello, everybody. This is Axel Live-Plays. I am going to be attempting to play Megami Ibunroku Persona, otherwise known as Persona, the original, the one that started it all, for the PlayStation. And I'm going to be playing it in Japanese and trying to use my rusty college Japanese to live translate it as best as I can. Why am I doing this as opposed to playing the American version and or the PSP version? Well, a couple reasons. I think that the presentation and music and the overall mise en scène for the original is much more interesting and I think much more accurate to what the tone of the piece is supposed to be. Whereas the PSP version kind of messed it up on the music department. They eliminated pretty much three-fourths of the soundtrack, reused a lot of tracks in different areas, all sorts of things there. And the Americanized version, unfortunately, cut out half of the content and has some problematic things going on in it. So I thought, why not show off what the original looks like and do something that challenges myself in a different way. So, without further ado, let's get started. Ah, nostalgia. Loved this. Time started it up. Really felt like you were starting something. Really hope times won't around. Uh, this game was developed in the early part of the cycle for the PlayStation, so it was kind of notoriously known for having some loading time issues. Hopefully that won't be a problem here. One time I dreamed I was a butterfly. Hey, so welcome to Persona. That opening is pretty interesting to me. It starts off with a poem by Zhuangzi about dreaming about being a butterfly. Essentially, a pretty famous poem wherein the poet Zhuangzi dreams that they are a butterfly and flits about happily being a butterfly, kind of forgetting his human side. But then he starts to wonder whether or not he is dreaming that he's a butterfly or whether or not he is a butterfly dreaming that it was him. He knows that there is a distinction between him and the butterfly, but it becomes less clear. And that he says that the separation between the two is that of transformative in the physical. Essentially saying that he finds commonality within all things, including butterfly. The butterfly is art thou and art thy, if you kind of see where this is. Oh, let's get started on itself. Memory card. Try not to talk over the parts that I audio or voice acting, which is very little in this game. I'd have to summarize this. They say later. Sorry about that. マーク、ペルソナ様だ。そんなんて将来の自分が見えるや。そしてねってもう、asking Persona-sama, Mr. Persona? That's kind of thing where you can, like, your future self? 上杉よ、お前。頭おかしいんじゃないか。Usugi, like, are you sure you're not dumb in the head? Inaba Masao, otherwise known as Mark, he is the kind of delinquent son, or the wild son, of the Inaba cleaning. Parents run that. A very kind of forthright person. Brown. バカにしたもんじゃないんだな、これが。Like, you know, you're not gonna make fun of me. それが、なんてのは、言い過ぎ。もう、バリバリだよ。So, like, you know, like, it might not be like seeing the future, but like crazy stuff did happen. Kind of sitting pretty then. Usugi Hidehiko Brown. Okay. He kind of really wants to like stand out in front of other people. おしか、ドイツのピースダイナーで食い放題だいいな。Oh, okay. You wanna かけるか? So like wanna bet, and they're betting a Joy Street East Diner all you can eat. So she's excited and she's saying, you know, I'll bet on Brown. Although it calls him by Uesugi of his nickname. Ayase Yuka, otherwise just known as Ayase. Pretty much like perfect example of what is called a kogal and a troublemaker. Kogal is a thing from a little bit ago where there's actually a manga series called Gals. This is something you'd kind of see in like the streets of Shibuya. You know, Ganguro was possibly a part of it. They're very like fashion, trendy, often skipped school, sometimes got involved with paid dating, kind of like a big thing with some teenage girls and men, stuff like that. Kind of like fashionable, but also rife with other social problems. 私はブラウンにベットしますわ。So, Ellie, she is going to show up in a couple of these games. She will be speaking random English a lot of the times. Not even in katakana, which is usually how you anglicize Japanese things into English, but in actual English. It's because, as this explanation, Kirishima Eriko, with her nickname being Ellie, is a girl who returned from study abroad. She is intellectual beauty. So it implies that she either studied in UK or America. Nanda? Wait, what's this? Oi, Nanjo, Yukino, omaera, dotchi ni norunda? He's saying, hey, Nanjo, Yukino, who are you gonna bet on? Oh, shit. You can do whatever you want, I don't care. Nanzo, ke. Otherwise just known as Nanjo. He is the kind of scion of the Nanjo Corporation. He is kind of like an utter pragmatist in the sense that like he really thinks things in a detached sense, but that detachment also comes with a side of cruelty. Yuki no ishi ni onaji katte ni yarina. Whatever, do whatever you want. Ayuzumi Yukino, fortunately, she's not going to be showing up that much in this playthrough. She is mostly a part of what is called the Stokuin quest, which was locked out of the US version. It is essentially kind of like a challenge mode version of this game, where dungeons have all sorts of traps and timers. Yes, it has timed dungeons, so I might go through that with y'all, but I might do it version just because there are a few quality of life improvements. See how I do with this. But let's go with her explanation. Yukino-san. She is a lot like an old type, and everybody kind of relies on her. Like, as always, they really suck to hang around with. Oi, omae wa dochi ni norunda? Dose nore da yo na? Asking like, hey, so who are you gonna pick on? Of course it's gonna be me, right? No, unfortunately, I'm gonna use my power of plot foresight to bet on Brown. 前もかどいつもこいつもイカれてんぜ Like, you two? Everyone's just pissing me off today. 泣きべそかかしちゃるはいじゃあ始めようか He laughs like a puckering pistol laugh. Saying he's being a crybaby. Come on, let's get started. じゃあ行くよ Here I go. ペルソナ様、おいでください。Persona sama, come here. おーし、ペルソナ様、おいでくださいなと。Alright, Persona sama, come right here. たくよ、なんでこんなことをしなくちゃいけんだか。Come on, how come I have to be the one doing this? いいから早く行けって。食い放題。Come on, hurry up and shut up. It's all you can eat. あったよ、I get it. ペルソナさん、適当に来てくな。Come here or like whatever. Tekitoni is kind of like if you want to say someone is just improvising or just like comes up with something off the top of their ass. それでは Persona sama, おいでください。Please come here. よし、来るぞ Alright, here it comes! Are? Wait, what? ちょっと言い過ぎこれじゃあよせばっかみたいんじゃん wait up, Uesugi. You made me look like a fucking idiot. Might take liberties. Oh, 見ろ、何も起きねえじゃねえか。俺の勝ちだな。Hey, everybody, look! Nothing happened. It's my victory. 盗んだろ？サト先生呼んできな。Alright, are you satisfied? Alright, let's call a teacher. ちょっと待ち！もう一回だけ。マーク、入ってからだって。Wait a minute, just one more time, right? Come on! Mike isn't even trying! Oh, やる気だぞ! Come on, do it right this time. Bastard. てめえ。失礼の悪いやつだな。You're such a sore loser. What? いたろ。なんだ、look behind you, 稲葉。んだよ、今、サラ、つけて。Don't try to trick me about, like, hey, look behind you thing. Get! 何これ？マジ？ What the hell is this? Wait, is this real? 前は音だけでしたのに驚きましたわ。She's expressing that the last time they did this, so kind of a little bit of a plot point here, they heard just sounds and were kind of surprised by this. 俺、見ろ、やっぱ言った通りだよ。この前とちょっと違うだけど。See, right? Exactly as I said, although this is kind of different than before. Girl in white. Help me. No, still. なんだ What's this? これは Huh? What's this? And Ellie, of course, has her very fun reaction to this. Fantastic! ますますは興味深いですわ Wow, this is extremely interesting to her. Lightning flying around the classroom and a screaming girl in white crying to be helped. ISA screams. みんな気ぃつけな! And then, right as she warns everybody to be careful, she gets struck. Well, but only the people haven't played it before.
"ようこそお初にお目にかかる。私はフィレモン。意識と無意識の狭間に住まう者。さて、君は自分が誰であるか名乗ることができるかね?"
So that was Philemon. And for those of you who have only played Personas 3 through 5, you probably have no idea who the fuck that guy is. He's kind of important both in this game and in Jungian psychology, upon which this is based. He introduces himself as Philemon, and that he says this is a space between conscious and unconscious, and then asks to identify yourself. So, let's do him. I'm going to call him. Oh. And let's go for first name. So, I named him Cat Forest. Because I can. Then, for name, I'm actually calling... It might seem weird that I went to food first, but I am going here first. For those of you who do not know, kanji operate very interestingly in Japanese. They have multiple readings depending on whether or not they stand on their own, are a part of a combined word, and whether or not it is a name. And some of them change depending on whether it's the start of a word or the end of a word, things like that. Name kanji are extremely interesting for a lot of people. Sometimes even in Japan it gets very difficult. So, I am going to use another kanji. The first one I use is Wisteria, otherwise known as Fuji. The other reading of that is Tol. So, for girls, a name common would be Tolka, otherwise known as Wisteria flower. Kanji for flower. Hana, which the reading changes when it becomes a name. Here, I'm going to actually be... find kanji that I am looking for. Perfect. Oh yeah. So, Wisteria Knight. So, next I can go to nickname. Here I can call him. Go with Bull. Toyo-kun. Firm. Sorry, that was not very...
結構ここに来て自分が誰であるか語れるものは多くない。どうやら君は合格のようだ。ところで君は自分の中に複数の自分の存在を自覚したことはないかね。神のように慈愛に満ちた自分、悪魔のように残酷な自分。人はさまざまな仮面をつけて生きるもの。今の君の姿も無数の仮面の中の一つでしかないかもしれない。しかし君は自分が誰であるか名乗りを上げた。その強い意志に対して敬意と力を送ろう。ペルソナ、心に潜む神や悪魔の姿をしたもう一人の君を呼び出す力だ。この先必ず役に立つ時が来るだろう。さあ戻りたまえ。君があるべき時間と空のもとへ。
Okay, so there's a lot to say in there and translate. Essentially, that it is not for who they are here, and that strength of will to for your sense of self, even conscious, he presents you with the power of persona, which calls upon the sides of yourself, whether it is gods of blessing, demons, your anger, the kind of the stuff that you have to unleash sometimes of yourself to protect yourself. So he says that this power that he is granting you will hopefully come in handy, or not hopefully, will definitely come in handy in some time coming soon. And then over the darkness, people were saying, oh, I wonder if he's seeing the same dream as we did, implying that others have also seen that with Philemon, and in the mask. And then you're awoken by Nurse Natsumi Sensei. 目が目覚めたのはね、ネコバリくん。毎日こそ可愛いようだったわ。Welcome to Infirmary. You made such a cute face when you. 吉野夏美。で、エルミン学園の手の先生。彼は、she is the kind of beautiful nurse at the school whose life is an absolute mess. Like, she cannot take care of herself. You don't see it much, but she basically can only eat like microwaved convenience store food. Like, she cannot cook for herself at all. And it's kind of a running gag in that. And here we are. Saiko sensei. Nekomori, daijoubu? Nekomori, are you okay? よかった。気がついたんでな、Nekomori. Oh, she's basically really happy that we regained consciousness. 倒れたなんて言うから心配したじゃないの。She was basically beside herself with the fact that we collapsed. 高見紗恵子。Nekomori tachi no. So basically, she is their homeroom teacher. She has a bright personality, and she is also very popular. すみません。夏美先生、うちの子たちが、つけちゃって。So she's basically apologizing that her students have put a burden on her by being like this. Basically, he's just joking, like, that's her job. Like, you shouldn't have to congratulate her for it. It's like, Kora! 年は、大体 So basically, she's like, you know, heard the gist of things from everybody and kind of tells off Mark, but is thankful that he's actually okay. So basically, she says that she is telling everybody to stop doing what they were doing, probably their after-school course, and instead go to the hospital to get themselves examined. Don't go home, and don't go home before doing that. 先生まで私たちがおかしいと思ってた。She's like, are you wrong with us? あんたたちがまっともなことくらいわかれば、できればわかるのよ。But she could tell that you're not like, you know, on the surface or something. But time when collapsed, something might have happened. Kind of worried. サイコセンスでも心配するなんてことあるんだね。Wow, there's something even that scares you. Oh, let's go to the hospital. Oh, if you're talking about Mikage Hospital, there's someone in their class that's interned. I don't know. Someone who's basically hospital. Sonomura no koto daro. You probably mean Sonomura. そうですね。じゃあ、じゃないと、Sonomuraの見舞いをしてあげると、well, it might not have been on the schedule, but you probably visit her as well. もう1年近く入院してるんだ。もうね、きっとしてるよ。So she, you know, anybody who's been in the hospital for like about a year would be happy to see. So, we have learned a few things about the plot here now. One of our friends in the hospital. The sports festival preparation. She basically had asked them that classroom do that, and instead they messed around and played Persona. Basically, it's like it's about a month away, and no one's been prepared for it at all. Should we just like camp? Yeah, she. You know, if I was locked up for a year, I'd go crazy. Definitely. Oh, you're Mikage Hospital. 学校から Oh, okay, it's to the really to the northeast on the map. まずどこからだってだろう？He's just giving us directions, like left, right, left, right. Around near the. Azura wa Asato. I got this new house plant. Great. Glowing. She heard that plants grow better if you talk to them, and asks that talk to it. Introducing us to save Mechanica, the Agastya tree of the Fabaceae family. Agasayo, young person, young man. 我々ので来てくれたな。ほらI will talk to it about my problems, I guess. Sometimes I might not end up translating things if I just can't work it out in my head or remember everything. Or if I can only... Sorry about that in advance. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on it. Do completely correctly. Okay, so let's start our school. Got our infirmary. Chojitsu. Principal's office. Like, you know, exercise is fun, kind of wandering around is fun, but don't forget about the hospital. We're gonna get that a lot. This game likes to help you know where you're supposed to go. So she says they're such pretty flowers. It's true that they say that she must love them. So basically she's not here at the moment. She must be in the courtyard where you'll often find her. I think that actually might be Mary's paintings, but they don't like all the principles. Not sure what kind of it is. It has a saint in it, although the saint happens to be a type of polecat. Not sure who Saint Ermelin is. But I also don't know if it's like a mission or anything like that. 私、今日はバイトがあるんだけどね、早く病院に行って5時の So Yukino is revealing that she has a part-time job that she got to get, asking us to get to the hospital. That shit. So Yukino is a high school student currently working a part-time job. Depending on the school you're in, you're allowed or not allowed to do it. Sometimes they will allow it for financial. Yes, Japan does have a class society. So culture. She's a very wonderful principal. She basically like treats the flowers as kindly as she would her children. She treats their students the same. うちのこといい人だと思うけどよ。なんか、乙女チックなんだよな。So he's been like, oh, I always thought that our principal was a great like person, but like very not a maiden like. Like monoliths have like a deep symbolism in tradition. For what purpose could someone have like erected this stone? It's kind of weird, or it's kind of to think about. Oishi. So she is principal big rock, and she is standing next to a very big rock, which she likes to, spend time in the courtyard protecting.
ああ、猫森くん、あなたたちもお散歩したからこの守り様にね、が一般の音になりにってお願いするんだ。若い頃から
So basically, she is praying to this god that of this action stone that we all grow up into adults. Oishi Bocho. She loves both student flowers. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff really ends up showing up the Snow Queen quest, where the school lives of the kind of gets thrown more focused. A supernatural disaster descends upon it, and are forced to try to survive that. Control. Always easy. Right? Here we go. Oh, there's like some guy going like out of this classroom in this bar. You know who that is? Tried to tell the teacher about what happened. Brown left like right away after this all happened.
綾瀬一人では切断ってできるわけがありません。
I'm not sure Ayase by herself would be able to very well. Kind of a blow on Ayase there.
上杉のやつがうまくばっくれちゃうだから綾瀬と切り
なんだよ。上杉like cheesed off right away. So we were left. Kirishima to have to explain.
本当に上杉こうだっけな。
He only really seems to pick up on times like these, skipping out on when, hard to navigate.
最近
First classroom on the second floor. Someone going there. It's like, is that you? Oh, fuck you. I have better things.
Rikoto.
Yeah, well, duh. Have to go to the hospital. But then how come we're the only ones that got hit? She kind of points out that the previous people who did play this hit and were Ayase, Eriko, and so they must have. Maybe they have this power too. Who knows? Not I, says the guy who's played this times. Oh. Okay, can't go in there. They don't block them off on the map for you. Game does not.
Cold Breaker. Yamaoka to ishou ni itta mono ga.
Oh, Codebreaker. I used to play that with Yamaoka.
あいつ、間、キル got yelled at. Gamble 好きはほっといて病院 If you have time to gamble, you have time to go to the hospital. Gamble それは男のカジノ gambling like like a gambler's like a real man's gambler's dream. The casino has like bunny girl, like slots, blackjack, code breaker. Oh man, I really want to get old enough to start gambling. Even though like the high school students around here all go to like this like illegal gambling thing located in the alleys of the local mall anyway. Why it's always casino. Always have that good shit. Asking if the girl that they saw, was that real? That's the room they were in. Check out here. Tanya! はいいるんじゃねえかよ。俺、あいつ嫌いんだよ。Hanya. Instructor Hanya. Fucking hate that guy. Come on, let's beat it. Bosta, como like, isn't the school gate good enough? Go to the hospital closed for a visit. 君たち誰かここをつっていていたのか? It's like who told you you could be hanging around here? 外に出たならちゃんと校門を使いてまえ。校長、教育が甘すぎるからこんな悪ガキどもばっかりなのだよ。我々が来いよ。So basically it's like, hey, you know, you need to get to school, use the fucking gate. Because coddles you brats, like you turn out to be little shits like this. It's too soft on you. もう早く向こうへ行ったまえ。そんなものはすごくbasically just go off somewhere where she bothered. Hanya Kyoto. So what they did instead is his name is Hanya Kyoto, and they instead made him Hanya, which is like kind of like a demon. And also because he had a smirk grimace. He shows up in the later game. He is an extremely strict person, very unpopular. But この学校って最高先生と校長以外はろくな教授いないんじゃない? Like, are there any decent teachers here besides like the principal and Ms. Aiko? And it appears not, sadly. Don't really know about the other teachers, and one blaming you for walking in and out of that classroom. Us bastards. Amari Anyo. Well, I've never really had any reason to be in like athletics building. 早く病院に行きたいんだけどね。I want to go to the hospital, man. で、ダンス2人なのによ。This place would have been practice dancing. Have like a sensei. So basically, there's a second year who disappeared with a friend. I bet Sebek. Yeah, oh, they really did a great job at
place. I'll really have fun like having a concert here. With the sports festival coming up. Guessing he's probably on the broadcast team. This is definitely is nicer than I gave the opening remarks for the body ceremony. He is known to give speeches. Oh, many a thing has transpired on stage. この長い歴史の中で朝と涙とそして血が流されてきたんだ。Over that time period, that long history, sweat, tears, and blood has flowed upon this. 亡くなったにねたったものと簡単には even though we on that stage that is essentially cannot be easily そう僕のセリフ長くて覚えるのに苦労したよ It's like, so how was it? How were my lines? It was really long and hard to remember もっと広けだな俺のステージ like even this stage is big but even that can't contain me 何をしようかlike hey why are you coming to the stage don't we have other plans yes yeah. I know Yukino called flavor text and I'm giving it as best as I can sometimes garbled not at all sometimes I have to give it I like how the foot patterns in the gym are different. Aha! Drama club room. I think. Yes. We decided on our show for festival. Asking club president. Basically, we used to have that traditional play, right? Why don't we just do that? Called the no, I forbid it. I'll decide on the opening. Just give me time, okay? I don't care as long as I get to dance. Yukino toいうと今日とか Oh no, it must be this scene, right? And it is. Again, this is the part of the quest that we don't American version. So 9 years ago, have a trophy, but they haven't won a trophy for 9 years, so they're kind of really nervous about it because it's been a long time since they've had entry. 部長ちょっとおかしくないでしたどうしてあんな怒るの Wow, she's really freaking out about this. Why is she so angry about it? 何そうなの違うんだったら邪魔だから書いてくれないよ Hey, are you trying to get in? I don't... Busy. This is the first time I've heard that there was a traditional play. Thing there. Boxing club. Boxing ってかっこいいよなでも痛そうだしな Wow, boxing's really cool, but it's pretty painful.
ないのか、前に病院だ。Like, oh, hey, you wanna join the boxing club? Well, you probably should go to the hospital first and get a checkup. さあ、ボクシンググローブで、安全に、it looks like kind of diet. Oh, okay, he's probably on a diet, and so like the gloves look like food to him. Probably trying to drop a weight class. She's also mentioned probably need. Yeah, the poster says shooting arrows in the club is definitely prohibited, with all these arrows sticking around. Clean up after practice. Oh, and they have someone's had their photo being shot up by arrows. Cute. Hashimo. Oh, you Kamisari kana? She likes to use. She really can't get behind a bow. Her preferred weapon is razor blades. Yukino used to be a delinquent girl that would be very frightening before Saeko Sensei helped her. Achira wa otona sports desu. Very intelligent, adult-like sport. If you don't have a bow, we'll give you one. Archery mo omoshiroi to wa omou ga ryou. I think archery is interesting too, but you know what's also interesting? The hospital. この武術はたくさんあるんだけど、いるかな? Maybe we could come back and play like all the bows line. Good idea. Fencing. Where we get a reference to another Shin Megami Tensei game. Megami Tensei If. Kind of the spiritual beginning for the series. A kind of weird title that took place entirely with a school called Karukosaka. And that one you could choose to be either a female or male hero. And male hero looked like this. And in this case, his name is Tamaki. Like, what are you posting up on the walls of our club room? Dumb Tadashi. Tamaki-chan, fencing部の転校生、毎日Tadashi君と喧嘩してる. So she's basically always fighting with Tadashi, a transfer student fencing club. And here we get the, I'll call it a self-insert, but like, the self-insert is like, everybody hates him and he sucks, and it's just kind of funny. I mean, when the author puts himself in there and everybody makes fun of him, that's kind of fun. Except he does get the girl, I guess. But everything else about him is kind of made fun of. But welcome to the writer of the series, Satomi Tadashi. Tadashi-kun. 聞こえねえ。俺らの勝手のだろうがよ、たく。毎日分つかしやがって。Oh, I can't hear you. I can do whatever I want. His stomach is like stupid, ugly Tamaki. Basically, he's a fencing club member who always fights with Tamaki. なんだと、こんな不品なもの。Like, what the fuck? What's up with this gross stuff? これ、人の女神にならす。Hey, don't touch my goddesses. Or like basically these creepy pinup posters that he's putting up in the fencing club. 何よ、女神よ。このスケベ。Like this like word for it's like a creepy pinup poem. Ah, このブス。It's like, oh, you ugly, fugly.
not very intelligent, very annoying people.
半端なペントだぜ。グラフィティはボムするなんだよ。もっと力。
God, he's using a lot of weird terms here. Basically, like if you're gonna like bomb a wall like this, or like you're gonna do it's like really sloppy, like painting. Like if you wanna do a graffiti, you gotta bomb it correctly and do it properly. And then this is a drawing of the artist for the series, Kazuma Kaneko, or at least like a kind of a little icon he used to use to represent himself. He does show up in the later games as the, well, shows up in Persona 2 as the demon painter in the Velvet Room. And on the wall is written, "Give me love." Translation of that's on that poster. She's breathing heavily. Nani? I'm kind of in the middle of something right here.
Nani yo, ima
In the middle of something. Yeah, they're basically like these useless people who, again, mostly end up having something to do in the whole arc.
ああ、この二人毎日こんなんだよ。よく飽きないよな。
They're always just fighting each other. It just sucks.
花木は天才だけど、大会で3人になるくらいのでも、
like she's like a transfer student, but she's like already good enough to place third in like the tournament. Wonder, well, like she doesn't like to talk about her like former school that much though. I wonder what happened. Well, maybe because like she and her classmates got warped away to another world where many of them were punished for their 7 deadly sins, sometimes lethally. And not all of them made it back. She probably didn't have good memories of that. Continue into... Oh! The ballet club. The posters say, candy's bad, you'll definitely become fat. Or in this case, literally, you'll become a pig.
あれか。
The nutcracker. She likes the nutcracker. Like a kind of like this fairy tale dream that this girl sees during Christmas night. What's with that face? Is it weird that like I happen to like ballet? You got a problem with that? And she probably pulls out a razor blade for good measure.
どうもこういうのは
早く kind of like bored about this, wants to go to the hospital.
俺は小さい頃山奥に出て
when I was really young, Yamaoka took me to the opera and said must have been for my cultural enrichment. We kind of see that Yamaoka plays a very large factor in his life, especially as a child growing up. We will probably find out later, I think Nanjo might say it directly, that he actually barely even knows what his parents do. Since that they basically give him money, but he almost never sees them. And has essentially been raised by the butler.
トーシューズって意外と硬いのよ。知らなかったでしょ。初めてはいい時と私も驚いたわ。
Toe shoes are surprisingly like what's the word for it? Stiff, I guess. Did you know that? When I started out, I was really surprised too. When I did ballet, I didn't have to toe shoes. Luckily, I didn't have to do toe shoes. I had to do regular shoes, but only for like a sports education thing. I have no.
教育館の部屋に買ったな。
Like she's so happy that they remodeled the sports building and gave us our own room because like whenever they were changing in the sports room, like creepy people would come in and try to peek. And then she accuses us. It's like, hey, wait, you wouldn't be one of those people that did that, right? Oh man, everyone's accusing me of things. This.
like maybe an unused room, but I think that might be a kind of like a calisthenics or whatever that is when you're general bodily nutrition, not nutrition, general bodily health kind of club. Probably kind of like something similar to what the Mob Psycho club is a little bit, but I think that room is mostly. It's also really hard to read on like the low res textures, kanji. All right, we got as much backstory out of that area as we can. Quite a bit of time in here, and I know we have not gotten very far. I'm sorry. But I'm having to translate a lot in my head as we are doing this. Check our map. Oh, no, let's check our item system. Status. Oh. I'm an all-rounder. He's good vitality and strength. We got strength. No technique. Okay. Oh yes, you can use left and right. That is... Ah! They do have a map. Dude, oh, that's something. See, in the PSP version, they got rid of all the sound effects, like the bell going off, and you can't hear people in the hallways and the people chatting. All that sound effects are gone, and has just been replaced entirely by a new pop song. I don't mind the song. It just kind of ruins the mood, and you don't have any sense of the feeling of this. くだらない話に付き合ってる。さっさと病院に行こうよ。Let's go to the hospital. I don't have time for meaningless shit like this. なんかレイジーファンらしいな。She's a Reiji. 別に羨ましがってるわけじゃねえよ。So it's not like I'm jealous or anything. Oh, Mark. Yes, you are. You're caught up in one girl and she has no interest in you. ヒロ、レイジ。この男は愛がわざとそう人にもえる。He really doesn't like to stand out, but he seems to be not really to stand out. He really likes to keep to himself, but it seems like he does so intentionally. 先輩、キドさんって先輩のクラスの人ですよね。Oh, Kido senpai, otherwise known as Reiji, is in your class, isn't he? 休み時間が放課後でも会えないしよ。会えのに。So basically, like during like breaks and after school, I go to the classroom. He's never there. I miss any try to get him. He's steady. Is a mysterious expression that is so like beautiful. Something kind of like that. She's the type of girl that likes to project upon the loner type, I guess. Okay. So about a year ago, where that empty house was torn apart and the Sebek building was built on it. So Sebek, this evil corporation, has been erected on top of a haunted house. You know, a very positive omen for this. How this goes. 懐かしいなyou the haunted mansion. 俺昔よく遊びに行ってうちのババがお袋にしか basically he says that I used to go there all the time, and my mom, or like, and he corrects himself and calls her like old bat, essentially my old bat. I mean, not literally old bat. She says like, calls her an owl, which I guess is also insulting because owls are dumb as hell. Always get pissed off at me for doing it. Yeah, if your kid is going off and playing in like this abandoned, decaying house that could easily
like I wouldn't be too happy about that as a parent.
知ってるセベクのビルって変な噂がたくさんあるのよ。
You know, there's a whole bunch of rumors about the Sebek building.
うめき声が聞こえたとか、赤い目が、窓から覗いて。
So like there's like stories of like crying voices and red eyes that you're hearing in the window. Before that, there was that it was she's probably guessing that it must be because they built it on top of those old ruins.
セベクの話は聞いていてあまり気持ちのいいものではないな。
Basically, like whenever people talk about Sebek, it's never really like a positive or like anything that leaves a good feeling in your mouth.
そんなことより、
But beyond that, let's go to the hospital. Well, shut up. Shut up, Nanjo. Basically, like the idea that like that Sebek is haunted is just like, you know, the rumors that kids do. Is just like a rumor. It's like it has to be Sebets has to be biological warfare. No, it's not like it's not haunted. Like that's stupid kid stuff. It has to be like biological warfare.
あんたがそんなに噂話を知らないとさ、
So it's like I didn't know that you were so interested in this type of rumor talk. Come on, let's go to the hospital.
Well,
I mean, I kind of with the spirit of him, but I wouldn't go as far to say that like they're doing biological weapons.
何であのセベクが気に入ったんだよ。ただの会社なのに。
Why is everybody like all freaked out about Sebek? It's just like a normal company. I'm not sure like what their cover exactly is. Here you go, Evil Corporation, Sebek. Have been around the first floor of and saying, why do I need to have a deep? You know, don't worry about it. You'll find out. Second floor. Are currently at apartment where I know, go to the hospital, ever.
ねえ、こまり、こいつ、つまんねえこと言いあるんがった聞いてやってくれよ。
Guys talking shit, listen to the guys spout off.
建物なんて、壊しちゃえばいい思わないかってさ。だって、どうせ
So he's like, this guy's like, hey, you know, they should tear these old, they're like sites for delinquents, and Mark is like, he said delinquents, what a dweeb.
うるさいな、だから。
Oh, yeah. It is like trying to defend himself. I guess he's, you know, the kind of conservative kid, didn't see outside of himself yet. Of course, Mark is one of the people who marking up the territory, as you can kind of see. He is art and graffiti.
他の子に
she's kind of like doesn't enjoy that Mark is really just giving it to this kid for kind of no.
I know. I know, Hospital Yuki. Blue Room. 言われや、俺もなんだかそんな夢は見たような気が。A blue room, huh? Now that you say it, I think I might have seen a dream about that. I wonder what room they might be talking about. Don't worry about it. 私、変な夢を見たんだ。それがすごく気になるの。It was a really interesting dream. Do you want to hear it? Nothing is more interesting than someone else's dreams. Nothing is even more interesting than listening to me play those dreams. それは青い部屋なの。その Blue Room。ピアノと歌が聞こえてきて、なおじさんがやっていて。There was a piano song playing in the background. String and was sitting in a chair. どんな意味だろうだと思う。What do you think that means? I don't know. Have you seen Twin Peaks? As you might see, this game actually has quite a bit of influence. I would say in some ways it's kind of subtle, but I think it actually kind of captures the spirit of it in a certain way. Got a cutscene. 夢の、ぬくもりくん、影、病院に。You're going to public hospital, right? 夢の優子、Himeno Yuko, is a friend of Maki, who is a person in the hospital. To basically deal with her family's finances, she does a part-time job. And her name is kind of a little bit of a joke in the sense, Himeno, equivalent of saying like Princess Field. Wanted to translate that directly into a very Anglican style name, whereas she herself is actually on the lower on the economic bracket. 悪いんだけど、園村さんに借りした本、今度前に basically she please forgive. No, I'm sorry I'm intruding upon you, but could you tell her that the book that she lent me, I need to longer? To let her know. Did be a nice person. ありがとう。ごめんね。面倒なことんで。And I'm sorry. 本ね。だから、もう一度読み返しても。The book, you know, really interesting, and so I'd like to read it one more time if I can give it back. なんていう本? What kind of book is it? 楽園の窓の鳥. So it's called The Gate to Paradise. Gate of Paradise. Wow, like a very academic. Basically, he's impressed by how like adult and kind of high cultured that sounds. I didn't know that she was into those types of books. どれほど気に入ったのだ。同じような買ったらどうだ? Why don't you just buy a copy of the book if you like it so much? 買えないのにも新しい服ないし Well, it's actually expensive and I can't buy it. My little brothers I'd like to buy my brothers some. なんじゃバカ彼女バイトしてかっけつける Basically, she rightfully calls off Nanjo for being like a fucking idiot and not realizing that this classmate that she must know her background, you know, can't do types of things. Nanjo is definitely not great at reading the mood for certain things that cares about, which is kind of other people at this point in his life. Mark, じゃあ俺たち服買ったからきっと伝えておくからな。Alright, well let's get going. We'll definitely tell her for you.
that, continue on our merry way. Get some further backstory on these characters and their personality. Kind of like that you get a kind of a little bit of their backgrounds if you want to. Obviously just leave the school right away without talking to anyone, but kind of like doing it because the scenario writer wanted us to kind of understand a little bit of the basis of where the characters came from before they venture out into the world. なやつは来社に私は嫌だよ。Basically like I don't like it. I don't like people who make fun of people who are just like trying their best and are like take things seriously. No, that's a good idea to have. Very admirable person. そうだったよ。勇気があるよな。だって綾瀬に。あらやだ。俺、ごめんだね。Basically, so he's basically saying like, Toro really has courage, man. Like, to ask us. Oh, you know what? No, sorry, I'm not gonna explain it. So even he can't. It's like it's almost too painful for him to have to say what happened. If you want to see what happened, play the Snow Queen quest. You find out what exactly ISA said to him, and it is pretty freaking. It digs at him really hard. She kind of nails him though. Let's see. Nekomori, 前にも言ったからもうしれんが、病院にはどうした？行かなかった？ Another reminder to go to the 俺見たんだぞ、トロが告白してあっさり断れたんだよ。でもまだOh wow, it's like really got nailed down by it, but he seems to be taking it in like stride. 僕さ、変な夢を見たんだ。女の子が助けて言ってた。There's this girl, like, oh my god, this weird dream telling me to save her. これってもしかしたら Oh, is this like one of those like destined dream things? Oh man, like, am I supposed to like save that girl? God, so cool. Kind of imagines himself as being the hero of a manga in this case. Yokuuchi Kenta. Everyone calls him Toro after the fatty tuna, which is a type of sushi. Yes, because of that. 食べることが気持ちが気が良い. So basically, like he likes to eat, and he's physically strong, so he's part of the sumo club at the school. But he has like he's weak-willed. Which ISA is very happy to point out to him. If I can recall correctly, she basically goes like, it's not like you're smart or anything. It's not like I ever see you pick up a book. You're just, all I ever see you is read like manga and stuff. Maybe you should just give up on Naito-kun. 彼女と顔落ちしたんだって絶対 Oh, so 駆け落ち would be kind of like eloped. They basically like ran off and got married together. It's been 2 months already. It's gotta be a lie. So basically, like, Naito-kun, and I cannot read that name, I'm sorry. Basically, this other girl must clearly have tricked him. She's like, her personality really fucking sucks. So the people they're talking about, though, are Maki's friends who disappeared 2 months ago. ナイトって顔がいいし、いいやつだ。悔しいけど、ナイスが。You're kind of contradicting yourself there, Mark. Basically, like, Naito has like he's handsome and a great guy, and basically like it pains him to say it, but like like it's annoying, but he's such a good guy.
確かにあまり性格いいと思い
I mean, of course, like even I don't think that Anzaki. I think that's how you read that name. I probably am completely wrong there, but even I can't say that like she has like a great personality.
ナイトやっているのはわざと
It seemed like when she was going out with Naito, she was kind of on purpose, like to show it off, rather than for appearances, I would say.
確かにはい初め驚いたね
It's like, yeah, like it's everybody is surprised. Like, why is like this super great guy going out with like this utter asshole that they all hate or they think their personality sucks? Is some
どちらというナイト
she's about to say like, you know, like I always figured the one was Sonum, basically meaning Maki. Oh wait, right, let's go to the hospital. They always try to stop themselves before finishing.
Yuka は何も考えてないように
Though it seems that like on the surface, Ayase or Yuka is like never thinking about anything.
わざと考えないよいいよな
So basically, but she thinks that Ayase actually knows a lot more than what she's putting on, and that she's kind of putting a show on not actually, you know, on being more airheaded.
ねえ、綾瀬はあなたたちと一緒なんだんじゃなかっただっけ
Weren't she? Hey, where's Ayase? Wasn't she you?
遊びに行くと訳してたように
Plans to play with me.
全然お先に行っちゃおうかなって思ってんだけど
So she's like, she's like, without coming to me, she went ahead, probably.
おかしいな楽しみにしてるのよな
I was looking forward to this.
綾瀬ってこういうあるんだよね
Ayase does this a lot. Basically, like, no, really kind of knows what that girl's thinking.
お前らも病院に行くの崖町の
Basically, he's just giving us helpful directions on how to get there and wishing us luck because it's a long way.
Just getting the final bit of lore なんといううるさい
It's saying that girl there is very loud and annoying. And the Kogal thing was about being very Valley Girl-ish, I guess, one way to call it. Not to say anything like, nah. Yeah. Here we are, in the famous Reiji Kido that the girls are all falling for. Someone's here.
キドお前キドレイジじゃねえかそんな場所でこのところで何してるんだ
Kido, you're Reiji Kido, right? What are you doing in a place like this? Expressive.
キドレイジ半年前に転校してきた生徒
He's a student who came about half a year ago. Basically, doesn't talk to anybody and just does everything by himself.
Ukan
Basically, no love lost kind of person.
ね
And you're the last person I want to hear that from.
転校して手ビクビル立ってだったのか
Like, I think he transferred right after, like, really soon after the spec building was built. Anyway, let's go to the hospital. This mysterious person, transfer student, showed up right when wonder what he's doing at a place like this. What are you thinking? 色っていいよなって。It's just, it's like, well, he's really like quiet here, usually. But, no, I bet at home he probably does, hand tricks? Like, kind of like magic tricks. Prestidigitation. Well, Mark, you're kind of on the money there. If you happen to get Reiji in your party, one of this cutscene, one of the ways you get him, although I think in this playthrough, Ellie. But if you do want to get him in your party, you have to talk to the teacher and the girl in the other classroom that mentions him, and then he will show up in this room. And once you see him, you're done. You have done what you needed to do at the school in order to raise that flag. After that, you'll be going to a couple other places around the map and do a couple other things, but that be able to recruit. Why they made it this way? I don't know. Old JRPG things. Like, you wouldn't know to do these things. そうか、絵が上手だったっけ？ねっこりさ。Oh yeah. Good at art. She, I guess, referring to Maki. その村の絵なら、私も見たことある。Oh, again, Gate to Paradise shows up again as the title of a painting that she... and it had won a prize, apparently, for her work. When I saw her paintings, like, something really stirred within me. Basically, she's very good at art, and her paintings bring a lot of emotions to me. 部員が少なくて困るよ。その村さんが入だし、アンさんは学校出て。So basically, like, you know, there's not very many members of the club, so it's a problem. Sonomura spends all her time being interned at the hospital, and the other girl, the one that everyone hates, is no longer showing up at school. You know those two? We know them. Basically, like, Sonomura's paintings are really beautiful and has even gotten awards. But her best friend, Anishi-san, they're not like, well, basically he says like the paintings are basically terrible, but it seems like she wants to kind of like she basically kind of like won by merit of having a boyfriend, you know, like, oh well, she might suck at painting, but hey, she's the one that got a boyfriend. I'm not sure I agree with that sentiment or how that logic works, but whatever this room is has not been used in a long time. Student council room. 昔の Okay, so basically, like, sorting through records is not something that a school council president is supposed to do. Oh, right. If it was, what is the name translate to? Is... whatever. The main villain of the game actually is, Kami... basically this guy who's the current head of Sebek was previously in this school's history, student council president, and like, well, if I was him, I never would have had to, you know, he would have had too much pride to do this type of menial work. But like, I'm gonna just give that to the underlings. 生徒会長 Amari Shikota, he's the student council president. He doesn't seem very enthused by his work. He really wants to be like just like that guy, but you know, definitely not. Oh wait, who are you talking about? Oh no, he's the president of the outer branch, I guess. You know, he's widely regarded as a success. Well, he doesn't really give a shit about, like, you know, things like the school council. Basically, he doesn't like the student council president because he is unwilling to kind of what he for others, kind of like a narrow-minded person. Calling him. Sensei. I mean, I'm starting to think that anybody would be better than this. Man, who made this guy? Like, no one really likes him, but like, made him think. But they only use like do tasks. He leaves us to do all the work. Basically, like, he has the buddies himself up with the teachers, which is pretty much how he was able to get the position. He, like, students, like, don't actually like him that much. That's politics. Sumiにいる2人、妻くんにバカにしてたし、私は血が損で、悪魔くん、ちょっと、Oh, those two guys are making fun of Devil Boy here, but I don't feel that way. Like, although I'm not like him, I'd be more on his side than theirs. Oh, there's that guy over there named Devil Boy. He fell down during PE. Everybody was laughing at him. Couldn't even do a single up. Oh, what a loser. People are mean at this school. Akuma ni mo. I bet even among, like, demons, like, there are ones that get along well with and they get along with poorly. If like if there's like bad things amongst bad other, like, it just basically gets confusing when you have like people who don't get along with each other meeting up. That Devil Boy, like, everything he says is like a load of crap. Really want to know about the occult, like, I actually know a lot more than him. So I can show you. And he proceeds to not. Oh wow, this library has like almost nothing. The one that I have in my house is like way better than this. Yeah, bitch, shithead. Let's go. Oh, shut up, Mark. ねくもりくんが学マフと調べてるんだ。教えてほしい。パッと。Okay, so basically it's like, oh, I'm researching the mysteries of the school. Do you want me to tell you? Oh, later. 黒売りストム。Basically everybody calls him Devil Boy. He's interested in the occult, but like he gets his information actually wrong. So he's actually a super fanboy of the stuff, but he's the one that actually gets it the most wrong. Or Devil Boy. He'll never get it. Well, cutscene time. The Hote no Natsumi sensei iroっぽくてって感じだよな. It's like, oh wow, she's really like
adult and sultry. あ、そう。じゃあこれから夏美先生のお弁当を作ってもらえば。Oh, well, if that's so, why don't you have her make your lunch every day? Oh, no, anything but that. I'm sorry. Apparently, the fact that she basically survives solely off of convenience store food is famous. Classmates. I'm not interested in this conversation. Yeah, it is kind of dull. Oh yeah, did you hear she broke up with her boyfriend. I wonder why. でも、2人がでもコンビニでなんか買えばいいんだもんな。Well, like, well, even if you can't cook, you just eat convenience store food. Like, that's not what you want to be living off of. He seems to think that most guys are into older women. I guess. Oh, well, explaining that as the day is getting later, we should be thinking about the hospital. I know. Oh, we are released from having to explore that room. Doitsu. I don't know. Talking about a curse, this, that. Oh, they're talking about the. Oh, what's the word for it? Passage. But you mean like that hole in the wall? It's not really a secret passage if it's a hole. Not really give a shit about what other people think. Well, Sebek's reputation is at an all-time low. It's like a really bad feeling whenever they walk whenever she's near that building. It must be because it was cursed, that company, because they bulldozed the factory. Oh, man, I'm starved, so I'm gonna get a snack outside. I'll use the secret passage way to get there quick to the convenience store quick. I recommend using that passage. But not us. We're proper students. We go out the school hole the correct way. And I think with that, we have finished all of St. Ermelin. Hooray. I hope you all enjoyed all of that sweet, delicious backstory. And with that, we have established a few facts about these students and their lives. Now it is time to venture out into the world. Not quite, because this is a Japanese school and we have shoe lockers. There we go. He's basically just like insulting everybody for time and lauding himself as this example of how to live his life. Basically like, man, he really pisses me off. I'm gonna find his weakness. That day might come sooner than you think, Mark. Basically, she's calling them both children. Uh-oh, here's Yamaoka. Ochama! Oh, young master. Yamaoka! Oh, nanto! 坊ちゃまがお友達ご一緒にされていることは嬉しやございます。Oh, my master is out walking with his friends. I'm so proud. 山岡南條かの
Basically has like raised him ever since. Hey, Botsama! Like calling him like young master. Hey, Yamaoka, その呼び方はやめろと何度も言ってるんだよ. He's basically yelling at him, saying like, how many times have I told you not to call me that? I'm... Nani? Boku... Trying to... He used instead of saying watashi or something more formal. うるさいぞ! Yaba. Hey, shut up, Mark. Yamaoka, とにかく今日はいい. 先に帰れ. Anyway, Yamaoka, whatever. Go home, I don't care, you're off. お、なんと、皆様とお出かけございますか、ぼっちゃま? Oh, should I go out with you too? It's like, 病院に行くだけだ。ぼっちゃま. I don't think. It's like, I was going to the hospital and stop calling master, I told you. Oh, the hospital. Oh, did something happen? And even Yukino is no longer able to contain herself and starts laughing. もう知らん、行くぞ、中森、山岡、絶対に来るなよ. Just like, well, whatever. Let's go, Nakomori. Yamaoka, you definitely do not come after us. With that, we get to our first world map. Minimalist. Aren't you glad that I can read all these so I can know where we're going? The map also looks quite different in the other version of this game, the PSP. Also has a different sense of music. You don't wander through the neighborhoods as much, and also you don't get to hear dogs or various, you know, things that give you a sense of that this place is alive and with people. This is the Kaneda Mansion entrance. The estate. あんたらうちの何よよ? What do you want with me? まさかうちのお宝を? Oh, you must have come here to steal my jewels. Nekada. Oh no, it's Kaneda Katsue. She just recently made her fortune so recently, like a nouveau riche. 冗談じゃない. Not a laugh. あのばあさんの宝物、俺は見らればガラクタにする. Basically, okay, basically like, it's like, oh, what a joke, isn't it? Like, even I can tell from looking that this is only a bunch of like stuff that she bought because the price tag was high, without actually knowing what any of these things are actually like worth. It actually like hurts my eyes to see this. Oh, she basically is like always accusing everybody of being. Come on, let's just go. Yo, you just can't understand the value of my precious thing. I wonder if this was something that was supposed to be kind of like a bit bigger in the game, but she kind of mostly goes up for just kind of to make a point about the world works at late. Oh, picking on our map. Go to the convenience store. Gotta use the crosswalks like a good boy. Oh, I might have just gone to... Oh, that's the local shrine. Araya Jinja. Oh, I can't go. Aha, so basically the idea is that the shrine is God that lives in all hearts. But I guess we don't get to wish ourselves good luck and offer anything at that shrine. No Fox social link. Oh, nothing so grand as that. Oh, let's go to the Yin Yan Mart.
あら、ゆっきさん、水野さん、早いよね。バイトの時間はまだでしょ？何かよ。Like, oh wow, Mayuzumi-san, you're early. What happened? 用事ができて、バイト少し遅れちゃうんです。もう深くやりoh, because something happened, I late. I'll make up the time later. Oh, that's okay. でも、目的、やっぱり。Wow, you're really motivated though, generally. It must be different to have like a goal. Yeah, Yuki is not necessarily doing a part-time job like Miss Himeno to support her family. She's doing it in order to follow a dream. 私、留学して向こうで雑誌の勉強だから、her dream is study photography abroad, perhaps. So she is getting money for that purpose. まゆずみがもう制服を着てニコニコしてるところなんだぞ。So basically, he really cannot imagine Yukino wearing that uniform and smiling at the customers, especially this former badass bad girl. のが真面目にバイトして、目的ってなんだ？ Oh, it's like is like taking a job seriously. I wonder what she possibly do that for. I don't know, Mark. She doesn't want to spend all her time, bombing walls like you. いらっしゃいませ。何かおすOh, yeah. Yeah, and you can buy medicine, chewing soul. Gotta drink. Covers your tea. Muscle drink. Oh, basically a life orb that recovers you. Collapse. Fungal. And I guess that fully restores. Piranha. Okay. Okay, so that's... Well, mess with that. But as far as we know, convenience is a very normal thing. Normal, everyday thing. Definitely not weapons. And I think with that, I am going to take a break. Back later with more Megami Ibunroku Persona.